Call Me By Your Name is the best picture contender, which everybody's been talking about, and I figured I'd finally check it out. So, Call Me By Your Name takes place in the 1980s, where a young boy, played by Timothy Chalamet, is living in this villa. And there's an American tourist, or, well, a protege, played by Armie Hammer, who comes to stay there for 6 weeks. And this boy develops a relationship with the man, and they eventually fall in love with each other. And this is essentially a coming of age story, but also a coming out story. And it's a film that's been doing a lot of discussion rounds recently, and people have been talking about it and about how much it's a masterpiece. And I agree with all those conversations. This is a really great movie. I have the most minor nitpick with it, which has to do with a little bit with the ending. We'll talk more about that later. Yeah, that's gonna be like a spoiler thing. I'm gonna talk about that after I give my grade. As it stands, though, this is an exceptional movie with some excellent performances, particularly from Timothy Chalamet. His performance in this is incredible. It's Oscar worthy, in fact. Armie Hammer, as well, is so good in this movie. He adds a lot to this film, and really, the relationship between these two, the way it just builds, is honestly amazing. And it has a slow build to it. It starts with the fact that Elio, Timothy Chalamet, is not really fond of Oliver, Armie Hammer. And so there is definitely that bit of a rift between the two, and it takes a while for Timothy Chalamet's character to start getting some feelings within him to start developing. And once we get to the point where things start to blossom a little bit more, the film has a very touching way of doing so, and it's pretty heartbreaking at times. And he has a forward thinking family, well, particularly his father, played by Michael Stuhlbarg, who, in my opinion, is incredible again in this movie. I've seen him in a few movies, that's why I say again, like Steve Jobs and, well, I've heard Shape of Water. God, I have to say Shape of Water. But he has some very excellent moments in this film, particularly the ending of the film. He has a speech, and that speech, honestly, is one of the most heartbreaking moments of the film because it's a very emotionally powerful speech, and it really sets up for the kind of finale you're gonna get. And I really like the way it was delivered. This is also a gorgeous looking movie. This film is directed beautifully, it looks gorgeous. The way conversations are between characters is also really great. There's no such dialogue that felt out of place. It was all really well in tune with every single thing that was going on. It had some quirkiness to it at times, and whenever there was a visual storytelling like scene, it was also handled really well. And I really appreciated some of the directions this film took. This film is a little bold in some ways, I'm sure some people are going to say that, but I think it's a really great way of showcasing how someone who is gay, sure, can feel. Movies don't always have this way of showing a natural progression towards a relationship being formed, especially when it comes to same sex. And very few times does it do it successfully, and this film really does it successfully. So I do actually really commend that a lot. And in that sense, I'm gonna keep this a little bit short. There's not much I wanted to say about it. I do think it's beautifully directed. I think it's excellently acted. It's a really great film, and you should definitely go check it out. I'm gonna give Call Me By Your Name a 9.5 out of 10. Now this brings me to the one thing which I was not a little, okay, wait, this is just my perception of it. I understand some people really like it, some people don't. So at the end of the film, Leo gets a call from Oliver saying that, hey, I'm about to get engaged and I just want to let you know. And it's a very heartbreaking moment because Elio loved Oliver, and so now this is a connection he's lost. And he goes and sits by the fireplace, and he has a very emotional moment where he starts to cry a bit. I honestly think that if you started that shot right after Michael Stolberg's speech, I think I would have liked it a little bit more personally. That's just my perception of it. And I think that would have been really powerful in a way, but I've kind of left it open, but at the same time, it would have offered some kind of closure. That said, I can understand why some people would oppose what I just said and would try to make and say, no, that's a better way. Personally, I just felt like those couple of minutes in the end where the phone call comes in could have not happened. But that's just my perception of it. If you think otherwise, let me know in the comments. So guys, Have you seen the movie? Yeah, well, let me know about that in the comments too. You guys are the best. Look forward to more reviews and videos very soon. As always, if you like this, please do subscribe, and I will see you guys at the movies.